we're going into the really, really fun part of our afternoon and evening. I can't remember what time it is because for me it's later. So, but I just want to say that this part is my favorite part of all, which is we're coming into the pitch challenge. The Cloud Innovator Pitch Challenge is going to happen now. If you've never been to a pitch challenge, this is so fun. And so, but what I'd love to do is to bring up Ainhoa Maiz, who she's just an expert in really investing in technology. She works for, she does this for M12. I don't know if you work for M12, but it says M12. I just know that you are an expert in venture challenge accelerator programs, how to get people money, and you're a mentor of female cloud founders, and you're super smart from the University of Chicago, and you were part of that big accelerator there, which is really cool. So welcome, and you can tell us a little bit more about yourself if I didn't do a good enough job, and tell us what we're in for and what's going to be so fun and why we should think about investing. Tell us, and tell us your word first, because I got to put that up here.
Perfect. Oh, my word. That's right. I forgot about that one.
Yeah, don't forget about that. It's very
important. Man.
Your word for the year.
I think my word for the year is going to be presence.
Okay.
I think it was easy to kind of get caught up in it all over the last couple of years.
No doubt. All right. So presence. I'm going to put it on the map, and then I'm going to just let you take it away. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Patty, for the introduction. So hello, everyone. My name is Ainhoa Maiz, and I'm on the investing team at M12, Microsoft's venture capital fund. M12 is a proud sponsor of Women in Cloud, and while we like to think of ourselves as among the best VC funds for women founders, the reality is that we still remain far away from gender parity in our own portfolio. So we're constantly challenging ourselves to do better, to be better, and that's why I'm so excited to be here with you today, advocating and celebrating the amazing women and their allies that are here, and to really make a case for why we should be investing in women entrepreneurs. So first off, just want to say thank you to Women in Cloud for having me and for hosting the Cloud Innovate Her Global Pitch Competition. I am energized and inspired by the momentum that we're seeing with female representation across the board in technology and business. You can really start to feel the groundswell rising. And I've had the immense privilege of investing in and sitting on the board of 4 female-founded startups. So I can say it's truly inspiring to work alongside these women, often kind of deep in the trenches to build companies that are changing the world. I've experienced firsthand the benefits that come from diversity of thought, the creative problem solving, the deep customer empathy, the dynamism, and which is why I'm here to talk to you today. So my goal for today is to have each and every one of you walk away excited, motivated, and perhaps a little bit angry, but most importantly, with an action plan to channel that energy into something productive that will raise up the women entrepreneurs in your life. So, as you likely know, women are grossly underrepresented in the startup ecosystem, both as entrepreneurs and as investors. Venture capital, the asset class, has actually undergone tremendous growth over the past decade, but female founders continue to receive only a small fraction of that funding. Funding equity to women had been on the rise over the last several years, but with COVID-19, it took a big step backwards. In 2020, female-only founded companies received just 2.3% of funding. So take a moment, let that soak in, let it marinate. 2.3%. It's okay to be angry. I know it made me feel that way. And when there's at least one other male counterpart or founder, the stats look much better. So it kind of begs the question. The data show that COVID-19 disproportionately impacted women founders relative to their male peers. And while the venture market as a whole actually had a great year, growing 16% year over year, The experience for women founders was just the opposite. Funding into companies that had at least one women founder dropped 3% in 2020. And so, I'd be remiss to say that if I didn't see this dynamic happening in my own portfolio as well. Women who I knew as an investor shouldn't have struggled to raise money faced an uphill battle, receiving wishy-washy feedback, getting treated poorly, and in one instance, at least that she told me about, overtly sexist feedback from investors. So sadly, we know that she's not alone in that experience. So what do we do from here? In some ways, the solution is obvious: more funding to more female founders. And even though most of you here today are not in a position to be writing $1 million checks, there is a lot you can do to further the cause. Like many tough societal challenges, it takes a community and 1,000 small deeds to really make an impact. So there's so many ways for us to really invest in women. And when I say invest, I mean beyond just money. I mean invest through our advocacy. So here is my call to action for everyone listening today. If you are in a position to influence founders and funders in the startup ecosystem, I ask you to challenge the common assumption that there isn't a large enough pool of good female-founded startups out there. It's clear from this conference and the other women communities I'm a part of that that's just categorically not true. I ask you to advocate for more fund allocation to female founders, to put pressure on your companies to have gender parity on their boards. I can't tell you the number of boards I'm on where I'm the only woman. And really just encourage inclusive treatment of women throughout so that we have a fighting chance. For the rest of us, your advocacy goes a long way. I want each of you to commit to share news about a powerful woman founder in your life on a social media platform of your choice. It can be Twitter, LinkedIn, it's all fair game. And commit to do that at least once a quarter so that we can continue to celebrate the successes of our female founders, so that we can't be ignored, and so that 2.3% funding figure is a thing of the past. And so, I know that there's a raise your hand function here. I'd love to see a hand raise if you're ready to make that commitment. If there's a founder in your life or a company that you'd love to celebrate, post in the chat and say who that person is. Because, in spite of everything I'm telling you today, women-founded companies continue to outperform in the VC market. The data shows it. And so the investors who are paying attention realize that they can't afford to keep leaving women's good ideas on the table. There is a lot of work to be done, but I am so inspired by the female entrepreneurs that are here who are pushing through all those boundaries. So thank you so much for listening. And I'm so excited to kick off the Global Innovate Her pitch competition. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, Ainhoa, that was fantastic. I'm so grateful for that. And that call to action is so important now. So I would love, and so thank you for that. And I captured that up here. And I just thought, oh, that's something I need to do too. So I'm going to do that right away.